Hello and Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Dental Talk. Today we have Dr. Hira Nazir with us. Dr. Hira Nazir is a dental surgeon, a public health professional, a researcher, and a mentor. After dental school and house job, she received the prestigious Chevening Scholarship. She did her master's from the School of Health and Related Research from the University of Sheffield. She came back in December after completing her master's. In December and at the start of this year, she's been working as a public health practitioner with the KP Government Health Department, and she also is running a consultancy where she serves as a deputy director programs. Because it's a small initiative of coaching and mentoring aspirants for grad school. So that's a bit of an introduction about her. बहुत लोग पूछते हैं कि scholarship dentistry में होती नहीं है, and मतलब you just cannot get scholarships. So here we go. We have a person who got a scholarship. I know it's rare, but we found someone and we're here to talk about it. How are you, Dr. Hira? Hope you're doing well.
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
No problem. Definitely, I found about you through Instagram actually, and then I definitely had to interview you. Actually, when you messaged me, उस वक्त तक I had already decided. I actually had your Instagram username written in my
Okay.
iPhone notes that I have to
Okay.
interview Dr. Hira. Anyway, so without further ado, should we start the interview?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Tell us briefly about how you got into dentistry and how was that journey like in dental school? Just your early stages in dentistry, how you got into school in those early years.
So to be honest, I come from a very medical-oriented background.
Okay.
My parents are doctors, so the inspiration was at home. My mother is a dental surgeon. My
Absolutely.
father is a physician.
Okay.
And then, like any other household, we are three siblings, so two of us went into medical and dentistry, and just one of them opted out of it. So
Yeah.
then my sister was there. She's older to me,
Mhm.
and she has always been there, like an inspiration or somebody you follow, because the younger one is always going to follow the older one. But
Yeah.
for us, there was always an open choice. However, I and her were always interested in biology and everything, and I am somebody who doesn't like numbers at all.
Okay.
And so I always wanted to become a surgeon, a journal surgeon. But
Okay.
eventually, that interest transformed because I used to see my mother. She
Mhm.
has a mashallah very flourished career in KP. She's one of the pioneers dental surgeon. She has 40 plus years of experience. So it was at home. I've seen my mother working in hospital, running her clinic. She still goes to her clinic. She's in her clinic at the moment.
Okay.
And yeah, so it was there. Eventually that becoming going to the journal surgery and medicine side, the interest shifted towards dentistry. So my sister wanted to become a dental surgeon like mother, but
Mhm.
when it was the time to get into medical school, she scored really well, and suddenly she changed her mind that no, I want to do MBBS. Then
Okay.
there was me. So we were never forced, but I knew that my mom wanted, like, oh, I would really like if one of you
Yeah.
can go into the
Yeah.
industry and all that. And then I had interest, so that is how I went into it. So I had that mentor, sort of
Yeah.
somebody at home always.
Absolutely.
Although she keeps saying that there's a lot of difference between what you studied and what we studied years ago.
Yeah.
However, she was there
But still, you
always.
have someone to look up to. Yeah.
Yeah, I had somebody to look up to.
Perfect.
And dental school was nice, I would say. I still sometimes miss being a student. I was fairly a good student. I've always been a good student, being labeled as nerd and everybody. But I was somebody who's very particular about numbers, and oh, I need to get a distinction and I need
Yeah.
to get a position
Yeah.
ever since when I was in school and little. So it was nice. I was a fairly great student who was
Right.
involved in activities, literary societies, this and that, because those
Perfect.
are my passions and interests as well.
Yeah.
And it was a smooth sailing,
Perfect.
I would say.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. So you're done with dentistry, and then you chose public health as a career. Now, firstly, deconstruct public health as a field for us. कि public health
Okay.
है क्या? Dental public health है
Okay.
क्या पाकिस्तान में? And why? And then why did you choose it as a career?
Okay. So see, public health is a very vast umbrella term. उसके अंदर बहुत सारी fields आती हैं.
Yeah.
And to study the health determinants, as a clinician तो आप hospital में काम करते हैं, आप उन patients के साथ काम करते हैं, but how to run that health system,
बिल्कुल.
दिस इज द जॉब ऑफ पब्लिक हेल्थ. पब्लिक हेल्थ ये करते हैं कि जो कम्युनिटीज में लोग हैं उनकी
Mhm.
हेल्थ है वो उनके लिए ऐसे सिस्टम्स बनाए जाएं, उनको इतना मोबिलाइज किया जाए कि
Okay.
their health safety is in place, their social security is in place. So this is what all public health is, to manage systems, to manage health policies, to make such plans which can strengthen the country or that particular place from community level, from
Okay.
grassroots level.
Yeah.
And it's a very umbrella term. It's a vast field. Public health के अंदर बहुत सारे
Sorry.
fields
Yeah.
आते हैं. So
Absolutely.
when you do a public health degree, you get all those skill set जिससे आप फिर किसी एक concentration में जा सकते हैं depending upon your interest.
Yeah.
You can go into epidemiology, you can go into research, health promotion, health education, policy side, advocacy side. So there are a lot of.
Okay.
And then dental public health is also one of its concentration from the broader scheme of things. However, dental public health is a separate degree.
Yeah.
But अगर आप broader lens से देखें तो ये under you can say कि
Yeah.
public health की हाँ जी एक concentration है. And then dental public health of course is more concentrated towards oral health and how you can improve oral health education and promotion, and किस तरह communities का जो oral hygiene है और oral health उसको improve किया जा सकता है. Yes.
Okay. Why did you choose it as a field?
So I was interested in community work since my undergrad time. I used to be a part of different projects where you arrange a dental camp or a medical camp, या आप जाते हैं करते हैं. So वहाँ से मेरा interest develop हुआ था. And then I got some opportunities like all these multinational companies who work for oral hygiene and oral and all these products that we use. So
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
conducted certain camps, and I got to know that how does it feel like being on the ground. So my interest developed eventually. It was a gradual journey.
Graduate.
And then when I graduated, then there was a time to do what to do. And as like all other graduates, I had my FCPS books, and they are still there on my table. So I was like, okay, like yeah, क्योंकि सबने करना है तो बस आप भी जाएंगे. But at that time, I was like, okay, fine. Even if I have to be a clinician someday and I have to go to that route, I don't want it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And fortunately, उस interest तो मेरा पहले से था. I had built that profile. I got to work with सोशल वेलफेयर डिपार्टमेंट भी केपी का उनके साथ थोड़े से प्रोजेक्ट्स की, यहाँ डेंटल कैंप अरेंज करवा दे, वहाँ करवा दिया. So I was involved with community and community mobilization and improvement in a way.
Yeah.
And that was a time when and I was like, okay, I have to do this. And that was when I was introduced to Chevening, and I was like, why not, let's take a chance. But as I suggest to all aspirants that scholarships are always hit and a miss. You cannot put
You
all
cannot
your eggs
find.
in one basket.
Yeah. They're always
You
in.
have to have plan B. And my plan B was doing an MPhil in physiology, and I got enrolled into that. मैंने उसका entrance test
In
किया, मैंने
Pakistan?
pass किया. In Pakistan, KMU Khyber Medical University में
Okay.
मैंने pass किया, मैं गई. और of course वो भी competitive ही होता है, limited seats होती, 18
Yeah.
seats थी, and yeah, I made through it interview stage, and I started my MPhil.
Then.
And since
Oh.
yeah, so I started my MPhil. And since आपको पता है scholarship एक procedure होता है, so it's a long time. ऐसे नहीं कि
Takes a
आज
long
आपने
time.
apply कर दिया, yeah, it takes quite a number of months.
Yeah.
8-9 months का पूरा था. तो उस दौरान I was like, I cannot sit like that. So my MPhil की classes, my regular classes ले रही थी KMU में. Yeah, started studying, made friends and everything. But at the back वो था. उसी दौरान मुझे shortlisting आई, उसी दौरान मैंने interview की preparation की with the MPhil going on in the backdrop.
Okay.
और फिर उसी दौरान मैंने इंटरव्यू क्लियर किया, एंड जस्ट राइट बिफोर आवर फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर के एग्जाम मेरी सिलेक्शन हो गई तो मैं तो वहाँ फुल स्टॉप, दिस इज व्हाट आई
अब
वांटेड
और
एट
नहीं
द
पढ़ना, एग्जाम नहीं देना।
बस अब मैंने तो नहीं नहीं एग्जाम, यू नो एग्जाम के तो चोर होते
अब
हैं
एग्जाम नहीं
शुरू से।
देना।
I was like, then my friend was like, at least sit in exam. I was like, no, I'm not going to exam. And you know, the other friends that I made were calling me,
I'm
why
going to
not?
the UK. I'm not sitting for the exam. Yeah.
Khatam, this is full stop. So
Yeah.
that
चलें,
is how it
that's
was.
perfect. That's about your journey of choosing public health. अच्छा, आपने public, we'll come to Chevening in a bit. आपने
Yeah.
public health पढ़ी. What has been your biggest learning out of studying public health? Public health कोई ऐसी फील्ड नहीं है जो हर बंदा परस्यू करता है. यूजली जिस तरह
Yeah.
आप कह रहे हैं, यहाँ पे हर दूसरा बंदा FCPS या क्लिनिक के पीछे लग जाता है.
Yeah.
ठीक है.
Yeah.
Public health is not a field that many choose in Pakistan.
Yeah.
What has been your biggest learning now that you've studied public health? और
I
बहुत
think my biggest
brief आपका छोड़, अगर आपने in a minute define करने के आपने क्या सीखा है public health पढ़ने से, तो क्या होगा वो?
my perspective shift has been my biggest learning.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have learned how the wider health determinants work. And I
Okay.
can compare this because I worked as a clinician. And now, when I stand on the other side of the lens,
Yeah.
I can say that I understand better and I know better how this health system works that I was a part of at some stage from the hospital side. So
Okay.
that perspective shift and that learning shift जिसने मुझे बताया कि एक सिस्टम जो चलता है वो चलता कैसा है और उसको चलाते कैसे हैं, I think that has been one of the biggest and one of the most rewarding learning, I would say, outcome from all this journey of public health until now.
Okay. That is a beautiful answer. All right. ये बात होगी. We'll come back to, actually let's talk about it right now. Then we can talk about Chevening in detail. What's the
Yeah.
job market like in public health for Pakistan? ठीक है, लोग स्कोप का बहुत पूछते हैं public health का. Now the thing is that you're working with the KPK government. We'll talk about that. But पाकिस्तान में उस तरह से स्कोप लोग कहते हैं नहीं है. ठीक है, बिकॉज यहाँ पे वो सिस्टम्स नहीं है, पॉलिसी मेकिंग उस तरह से नहीं है, गवर्नमेंट्स नहीं है. जैसे अमेरिका में मैनी पीपल गो एंड डू MPH एंड देन दे गेट गुड जॉब्स, बिकॉज वहाँ पे एवरी
Yeah.
स्टेट लेवल तो छोड़े, म्यूनिसिपल लेवल तक पब्लिक हेल्थ पे काम हो रहा होता है. तो देयर आर सो मेनी जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज ओवर देयर. पाकिस्तान में उस तरह से क्या स्कोप है और किस तरह उस स्कोप को बेहतर किया जा सकता है?
I think scope से ज़्यादा हमारे लोगों में awareness नहीं है. When I was going on this journey, I was told कि okay, अच्छा तुम आप वापस आ जाएंगे तो क्या आप community dentistry पढ़ाएंगे? Because a lot of people think that they're gonna,
Yeah.
you know, public health community के साथ क्योंकि
Even
epidemiology has starts.
even I used to think that till like a year back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people think that. तो क्या आप community या आप अस्पताल की MS बन जाएंगे, जो MS हमारे होते हैं, क्योंकि आपको पता है जब grading और यहाँ पे professional आपको advance होने के लिए you need a separate degree. So I was like, no, this is not that. So I think scope तो बनेगा तब ना जब awareness आएगी, जब लोगों को पता चलेगा कि आप इस public health की degree के साथ बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं. There is a need of public health in Pakistan. Job market अभी थोड़ी expand हो रही है because we are having a lot of great consultancies just slowly develop हो रही है पाकिस्तान में. We have Sphere, which is services for public health and research, Lahore based start हुई थी. We have Precision Health Consultants, PHC Global, which is another health consultancy. इस तरह consultancies सामने आ रही हैं जो कि they are working and they are working towards data driven health management. ठीक है, they are generating the data and आपके systems को चलाने के लिए. So the job market is definitely expanding. Yeah, the need is there because हमें अब आपने देखा पेंडेमिक ग्लोबली आया और पब्लिक हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स के सबसे ज्यादा डिमांड हुई. पब्लिक हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल ही था जो बताते थे कि आपको वायरस इधर जा रहा है, इधर जा रहा है, यू नो, दिस इज एपिडेमियोलॉजी, दे आर टेलिंग यू हाउ द वायरस. सो देयर इज अ नीड. स्लोली द जॉब मार्केट इज एक्सपेंडिंग. आई वुड से कि गवर्नमेंट के साथ भी आप मिल जाती है बिकॉज वी पाकिस्तान, आपको पता है, वी हैव डोनर फंडेड प्रोजेक्ट्स हमारे बहुत रन होते हैं. We have a lot of donors who are working in different domains of health. For example, we have Bill and Melinda Gates who are working in vaccine. Gavi वैक्सीन पे बहुत काम कर रही है. हमारे पास पोलियो भी है अभी तक. We are still battling with TB. So there are opportunities. थोड़ी सी उसको explore करने की जरूरत है. I wouldn't say job market is very saturated because as public health, I would still say न्यू तो नहीं है, बट वो उस तरह सैचुरेट नहीं हुआ जिस तरह हमारे अदर फील्ड्स हो चुके हैं. तो द जॉब मार्केट इज देयर. थोड़ा सा इनिशियल स्टेज, फॉर्मेटिव स्टेज में आपको स्ट्रगल ज्यादा करनी होती है. सो मे बी वो पे स्केल और रिवॉर्डिंग इतना ज्यादा ना हो, बट विद द इमर्जेंस ऑफ private consultancies and private telemedicine startups and initiatives, it's fairly better. It's fairly good. There are a lot of startups like Sehat Kahani, like Marham. ये सब भी public health professionals को कर लेते हैं adjust, because there is a need there as well,
Yeah.
apart from you being a pharmacist or a dentist or a physician. तो slowly जिस तरह more and more investment हो रही है in public health from private and public scale, the job market is
Doing it.
expanding.
All right, perfect. All right, let's move on to शेवनिंग. सबसे पहले
Yeah.
तो बताएं शेवनिंग है क्या? ठीक है, जिन लोगों को कुछ नहीं पता शेवनिंग का, ठीक है क्या शेवनिंग? For honestly, until I got to know about you, I did not know that शेवनिंग में you can go and do masters in public health. ठीक है,
Okay.
or a dentist can. I knew about शेवनिंग. I did not know that
Yeah.
a dentist could apply for शेवनिंग. तो ये मतलब how what is शेवनिंग?
Okay, so it is pronounced as chevening,
Okay,
और
sorry.
yeah, no, it is fine, absolutely. It's बहुत सारी pronunciation होती है, आपको पता है, based upon different accents
Yeah.
and different regions. But chevening इसकी pronunciation है. It's actually an international scholarship program, scholarship and fellowship, and
Mhm.
it is funded by FCDO office, जो है जो Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office, in short जो UK गवर्नमेंट है, और उनके साथ और बहुत सारे पार्टनर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं. तो जिनका जो मिशन है, मेनली दे आर लुकिंग फॉर highly achieving and extra ordinary individuals
Yeah.
who can be future leaders, peacemakers, change makers in their respective fields and roles.
Mhm.
And it's a huge diverse community, which is the beauty of Chevening, क्योंकि आपको इतने लोगों से मिलना होता है, और
Yeah.
you learn so much, you grow so much, because when you sit with a person from different region and different culture, so there's a lot of learning, right? So it's a global program.
Yeah.
160 plus countries से लोग आते हैं. I think it's been running, I hope I'm not wrong, but 1983, so there's been a long while, and they have produced 50,000 plus scholars until now. And it is yeah, it funds 1 year master's degree, आपकी fund होती है, academic taught masters जो होता है वो आपकी ये fund करता है, support करता है. And
आप कौन कौन से
diverse
मास्टर्स के लिए इसके इसकी हेडिंग में आप कौन कौन सी मास्टर्स में अप्लाई कर सकते हो? लाइक व्हाट काइंड ऑफ मास्टर?
so Okay, so since we are talking about dentistry, so dentistry वाले बहुत सारे के लिए कर सकते हैं, but वैसे इसकी scope तो बहुत ज़्यादा है, like from media to sustainable energy to all that as well. लेकिन dentistry में there is regenerative dentistry, aesthetic dentistry, the very sought after dentistry की degree आजकल forensic dentistry, जो बहुत सारे लोगों का interest उसमें develop हो रहा है,
ओह,
दंडी में offer होती है. Yeah,
दैट्स
that is funded by mass Chevening. इसके अलावा पब्लिक हेल्थ, डेंटल पब्लिक हेल्थ, हेल्थ पॉलिसी, ग्लोबल हेल्थ, हेल्थ मैनेजमेंट, हेल्थ इकोनॉमिक्स, प्रोस्थेटिक्स,
ओके.
stem cell regenerative dentistry,
But the
dental technology. Yeah.
but their condition is that you once you do your masters you have to go back to your country and serve your country, right? जिस
Yeah,
तरह
so
फुल ब्राइट
they,
में होता है.
हाँ जी, फुल ब्राइट में होता है. यूजुअली देखिए, जब एक फंडिंग बॉडी आप में इतने आप पे इतने पैसा खर्च
इन्वेस्ट कर
करती है,
रही
सो
है.
दे डू हैव, या certain rules. तो Chevening will never stop you from pursuing your career पर, लेकिन एक ये इनकी एक रिक्वायरमेंट है कि आप अगर जब आपका स्कॉलरशिप पीरियड खत्म हो जाता है, या यूजुअली वो एग्जैक्ट 1 year नहीं होता, इट्स ऑफ कोर्स 1+ year होता है
Yeah.
हमेशा, तो वो आप कर लेते हैं. And then you have to, like, exit from the UK, and yeah, of course, come back and serve for a while, which is also, I think, a good starting point for
Yeah, it is.
everybody.
It is.
Yeah, experience के लिए. So yeah, you have to come back for 2 years.
All right. You have to come back for 2 years. All right, perfect. Now tell us a bit about the process. सबसे पहले कि आपको कैसे पता चला, ठीक है?
अच्छा.
And फिर आपका क्या वो पूरा process क्या था of that led you to achieving scholarship. Now चलें इसके बारे में बात करें, then I'll ask the next question.
ओके. अच्छा, तो मुझे कैसे पता चला? मैंने करनी थी मास्टर्स डिग्री पब्लिक हेल्थ में, लेकिन मैंने करनी थी बाहर से. अब मुझे यहाँ से भी नहीं करनी थी, लेकिन
Yeah.
पैसे भी नहीं थे. ठीक है, तो अपना तो नहीं कर सकते. ऑल दीज डिग्रीज आर एक्सपेंसिव एंड दे कॉस्ट सो
Yeah,
मच
yeah.
with the economic situation that we always have in our country. तो वो तो बिल्कुल आउट ऑफ द विंडो ऑप्शन था
The
ना, कि
pound
आपको
is
खुद
290 right now. 290.
Exactly. So 290, it was 280 yesterday. I was just reading, so देखिए day में ही fluctuate हो
हाँ,
रहा
वो
है.
ऐसे ही
तो
फ्लक्चुएट करता है यार.
exactly. तो वो था. So I was looking for all scholarships. मैंने कॉमनवेल्थ के लिए भी अप्लाई किया है और मैंने इरास्मस के लिए भी अप्लाई किया. इरास्मस से तो मुझे फर्स्ट स्टेज पे ही रिजेक्ट कर दिया था.
वो रिजेक्ट
एंड
क्यों कर दिया था? Why did they reject you?
सो
What was?
आई डू बिलीव दैट इरास्मस पे मेरी तैयारी बहुत ज्यादा अच्छी नहीं थी जो मेरा एप्लीकेशन था. एंड टू बी ऑनेस्ट, मेरे जो बाद में जब हम बात करेंगे माई स्टार्टअप का, उसका मेन मकसद ये था लोगों को डायरेक्ट करना. माई जर्नी वॉज डायरेक्शनलेस. आई स्टिल बिलीव दैट मैंने ट्रायल और एरर से सीखा है.
Yeah.
मैंने अकेले किया है, मैंने खुद किया है. आई वुड हैव लव टू हैव अ मेंटर,
Man.
somebody to hold my hand and to show me the way. तो वो मैं ट्रायल एरर पे सीख रही थी. यू कैन जस्ट लर्न एज मच फ्रॉम द इंटरनेट, राइट? वी नो गूगल इज अ ग्रेट रिसोर्स, बट
Yeah.
देयर इज जस्ट सो मच नॉलेज. मैं क्या करूं? सो इट वाज दैट. तो मैंने मेरे पास जितने भी फुली फंडेड ऑप्शंस थे मैं सबको कर रही थी. कॉमनवेल्थ भी था, ये चेवनिंग भी था, और इसके अलावा फुल राइट में नहीं, क्योंकि उधर जीआरई करनी थी. मुझे मैथ्स तो आती नहीं है शुरू से. सो आई वाज लाइक नो, आई कैन नॉट डू दैट. तो although I had some friends who was like हम आपको हेल्प कर देंगे ना, आप प्रिपेयर कर. I was like नहीं, मैंने मैथ्स मैट्रिक में पढ़ी, मुझे
I have
अब क्या,
something
मुझे कुछ याद.
exactly मैट्रिक में पढ़ा था. So
I studied, the last was 2010, so you can see it was a decade anyway. तो खैर, so फिर मैंने अप्लाई किया. खुद ही मैं सर्च करती थी, लॉट ऑफ स्कॉलरशिप ग्रुप्स ज्वाइन कर लिए. ये जो हमारे अदर ग्रुप्स हैं फेसबुक पे वो ज्वाइन कर लिए. कभी ट्विटर पे पूछ रहे यार हेल्प कर दो. यूट्यूब की बहुत सारी वीडियोस देख ली. सो माइंड वाज अ वेरी वेरी, so this journey can be very isolating if you don't have
I don't
that
understand.
community, yeah, that
Yeah.
support network. And that is why मेरा तो बहुत ज़्यादा बिलीफ है mentoring पे, support community पे, network पे. और सिर्फ ये नहीं, कोई भी एग्जाम आप लैब उठा के देख ले, आप ओआरई उठा के देख ले, all these exams, they take while and you need that help from across.
Yeah,
Just moral
absolutely.
support is very.
मैं तो हर अपने जो भी मुझसे लाइक इफ एनीवन कम्स अप टू मी क्या करूं, मैं कहता हूँ यार लिंक्डइन का अकाउंट बनाओ and start connecting. And I heard you say this in your lecture at the
Yeah,
conference, so I was like,
yeah,
yeah, I say this exact same
yeah,
thing to everyone because
exactly.
LinkedIn is so amazing. LinkedIn is,
Yeah,
मतलब you can connect with anyone in the world. That is, मतलब what more could you want? So when
exactly,
people say we don't have connections, I'm like, you're not making connections then. But
exactly. You
okay,
have
anyway,
to.
back to your story के
Yeah,
you
वो था.
आपने
So
research किया, आपको चिवनिंग का पता चल गया. Now what?
रिसर्च की चेवने का पता चल गया. अ फ्रेंड आई वुड लाइक टू मेंशन, सिद्रा मेरी फ्रेंड है, और मुझे आज भी याद है उसने पहली दफा जब चेवनिंग बोला था तो मुझे तो प्रोनाउंसिएशन उसके सुन के मुझे आई थी कि अच्छा ये
सिद्रा
इसको ऐसे
मलिक.
बोलते हैं. सिद्रा अमीन, शी वुड डेफिनेटली वॉच जब आप इसको पुट
Siddha,
फॉरवर्ड करेंगे. शी
I
इज
think
डूइंग.
I think she's the one who told me about you. I think I'm not sure, but I
ओके,
think she's the one who told me about you. Yeah, yeah.
ओके. वी आर लॉन्ग फ्रेंड्स, हम बचपन
Yeah,
के
yeah.
दोस्त हैं.
Okay.
तो या, तो खैर एनीवे. तो वो था. तो इसका ये था कि आप एप्लीकेशन करते हैं, फिल करते हैं स्कॉलरशिप की ऑन शेवनिंग वेबसाइट पर ही आप करते हैं, ठीक है. पोर्टल पे यू मेक योर प्रोफाइल एंड यू स्टार्ट योर एप्लीकेशन. एंड लाइक ऑल अदर एप्लीकेशंस यू पुट इन योर डिटेल्स लाइक नेम एंड डेट ऑफ बर्थ एंड ऑल दैट. एंड द मेन एसेंस ऑफ शेवनिंग एप्लीकेशन आर 4 essays which will make your application go through, or which will, I would say they are the game changers. And they have 4 different focuses. So one is leadership पे एक application होती है, since they definitely want to look for leaders out
Leadership,
there.
yeah.
And other is on networking, क्योंकि
Mhm.
Chevening promotes networking. अब इतने
Yeah.
countries को एक साथ कर रहा है, so networking is the essence of
Yeah.
it. And then it is career goals, जो कि एक बहुत important essay है. You have to be very क्लियर एंड रियलिस्टिक. मुझे क्या करना है आगे, वापस आके 5 साल में क्या करना है, 10 साल में क्या
That's
करना है. सो
amazing.
बी
Okay.
वेरी वेरी स्पेसिफिक. या, एंड योर चॉइसेस ऑफ कोर्सेज एंड यूनिवर्सिटीज. ठीक है. तो चेवनिंग एप्लीकेशन में आप 3 यूनिवर्सिटीज देते हैं और 3 चॉइसेस देते हैं कि यार ये 3 डिग्री से मैं इन 3 यूनिवर्सिटीज में पढ़ना चाहती हूँ या चाहता हूँ.
Okay.
एंड व्हाई डू आई वांट दैट, यू गिव अ प्रॉपर justified reasons. So आप you fill the application.
How can one write these? Because I'm sure you also had to write an SOP as well, right? A
Yeah,
statement of purpose or
yeah, straight
जो भी
up.
कहते हैं इसको. So whenever I sit down to write my SOP, I've done a lot, but I completely go blank about myself. कि मैंने क्या struggle किया जिंदगी में? What have I done in my life? I completely go blank. So I will divert from here and we'll ask you कि how can one be good at writing this kind of stuff? We मतलब इसमें क्या कैसे आप ये कैसे सीख सकते हैं?
देखिए ऐसे बेसिक जो एसेज होती है नो बट अच्छा आई हैव गुड राइटिंग स्किल्स आई बीन अ राइटर तो ठीक
Okay.
है मैं आई वुड स्टिल कंसिडर कि यार मेरे पास वो परहैप्स एडवांटेज है या गॉड गिफ्टेड स्किल है जो भी आप उसको नेम
Yeah.
कर दे राइट बट आई नो नॉट एवरीबडी इज बट टू बी ऑनेस्ट यू कैन बी द बेस्ट नरेटर ऑफ योर स्टोरी जो आपने किया है
Mhm.
एक अच्छा ऐसे लिखने के लिए हमेशा याद रखें यू हैव टू गिव अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम ठीक है इनिशियली आप कहते हैं यू गो ब्लैंक मे बी नेक्स्ट डे व्हेन यू सिट आप दो लाइनें लिखें एंड देन दो लाइनें लिखें it will eventually develop and you need to have at least basic clear English एक अच्छी चीज लिखने के लिए जरूरी नहीं है that you use heavy
Yeah.
vocabulary so you have to be very clear
Mhm.
coherent रहें ये भी किया ये भी किया ये भी किया बहुत सारी चीजें हम करते हैं try to pick relevant things from it जो कि आपकी उस एप्लीकेशन से मैच हो
Okay.
पब्लिक हेल्थ के लिए अप्लाई कर रहे हैं तो पब्लिक हेल्थ से रेलेवेंट चीजें डालें ना उनको पता
Yeah.
चले कि या आप बेशक डाल सकते हैं एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एग्जांपल्स बट ट्राई टू बी फोकस एंड नॉट गेट लॉस्ट हियर एंड देयर बी
Yeah.
कोहेरेंट इन योर स्टोरी कोहेरेंस पे मैं बहुत फोकस करती हूँ कि आप यू नो द ज्यूरी डजंट नो यू so they're
Yeah.
gonna have a picture of you from your
Yeah.
application
जिस तरह
so
one of my seniors, sorry to cut you off. Wow,
no no go on
one of my seniors told me about this कि when she was applying for her match in dentistry residency के लिए
yeah
वो apply करी थी in America, so she told me कि always present yourself as a well-rounded person who knows what he's doing, because if you apply to a prosto program और आप उनको बता रहे हो कि मैंने 2 साल ऑर्थो में काम किया हुआ है, तो that will not make sense to them. कि अगर आप पब्लिक हेल्थ में अप्लाई कर रहे हो और आप कह रहे हो कि मैंने एज अ सर्जन मुझे मुझे सर्जरी का बहुत शौक है, तो दैट वोंट मेक सेंस टू देम. सो या आई कंप्लीटली
That's exactly what I say, right? कि आप अगर एक चीज के लिए अप्लाई करें आप relevant चीजें लिखें. Always encourage people to, I always encourage them to write अपने extra curricular एक दो examples, so it shows that you're a versatile person. You can do a lot of things, but be focused, be coherent, and be very clear in your essay. ठीक है?
ओके.
मैं मेरा अपना writing style ये मैं prefer करती हूँ. No, हर किसी का मुख्तलिफ होगा, but I prefer story में present करें. कि
या
अगर आपने अर्ली लाइफ से भी देने के मैट्रिक में कोई आपकी एग्जांपल्स हैं या फिर बाद में सो ट्राई टू प्रेजेंट इट इन अ स्टोरी के एक टाइमलाइन उनके सामने डेवलप हो जाए कि दिस इज हाउ दिस पर्सन हैज प्रोग्रेस्ड इन लाइफ
परफेक्ट.
सो
ऑलराइट,
ये
सो यू
या
राइट 4 essays, देन व्हाट?
you write for essays, you submit your application. Applications opened अभी next cycle के लिए 2nd August पे खुल गई हैं.
या मैंने
या
आपकी पोस्ट
या
भी देखी थी. या
yeah 2nd August पे खुली हैं and they'll close on 1st November, so there's a lot of time.
यू हैव
मुझे
टाइम.
बहुत बुरा लगता है अगर कोई 10 दिन पहले मेरे पास आके बोलता है कि अभी जल्दी जल्दी बताएं रिव्यू करें मेरा ऐसे को. I was like you need to start early
रियली.
if you are focused about something, if you're passionate about something, you have to do your homework, you have to work. I know it's a very valid question, what is this scholarship or anything, but I always encourage people to do their homework. थोड़ी सी आप background अपना homework करें, आप देख लें eligibility criteria देख लें, and then I'm always happy to take you ahead from there. So you submit your application and then you start applying to the universities. वही universities जो आपने अपनी application में लिखी होती है
ओके.
कि मैंने यहाँ पे लिखी हैं. So usually students start applying around December क्योंकि नए applications तभी खुलती हैं
तभी खुलती है.
अक्टूबर से दिसंबर के टाइम में. ठीक है, you आप application usually application fee नहीं होती या top tier universities might have a fee but that fee is not reimbursed by Chevening, तो वो आपके अपने pocket से जाती हैं. That is also very top tier universities. Again, you can always write an application and email to the university, I'm applying to the scholarship, can you waive it off? And they usually waive it off.
ओके.
तो वो भी हो जाता है. तो आपकी फर्स्ट शॉर्ट लिस्टिंग जो आती है बेस्ड ऑन द एप्लीकेशन यू सबमिटेड दैट इज February.
ओके.
So you keep track. August में खुली, November में close हुई और next February में आई. So that is why I say it's a long
That's 6 months
time and
already. Yeah.
that exactly, and you have to be very patient all the time. I used to sit अच्छा कब आएंगे अच्छा पाकिस्तान के रिजल्ट्स क्योंकि वो ग्लोबल रिजल्ट्स रोल आउट होते हैं राइट
Okay.
country after country after country.
Yeah.
So I was a part of this international group and then I was like okay आज तो इसके आ गए आज तो अफ्रीका के आगे चलो अभी एशिया की तरफ आ जाएंगे and that is how it was happening. So when you get shortlisted, then you are supposed to appear in an interview that happens in the diplomatic enclave in Islamabad, जहाँ पे हमारा British Secretariat है. Yeah, and the secretariat officials or जो हमारे chevening officials they sit there and they conduct your interview. So
Okay.
you book a slot for you from the available slots. I always advise people to have enough room कि आप उसके लिए अच्छी तैयारी कर लें, and then you go. Interview is based on your application. They just want to ensure that this is your story and ये
This is
आपने
you.
ही लिखी है.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is you exactly. So it's nothing new, but a lot of game of nerves. बहुत, of course, you are nervous, and
Yeah.
a lot of people are rejected at interview stage as well क्योंकि shortlisted students बहुत होते हैं, and जो
औरों
final
औरों के
select
सामने वैसे ही इंग्लिश बोलते हैं, आप चाहे
वैसे.
जितनी मर्जी अंग्रेजी बोलते हो. मैं
Yeah,
I can talk to anyone in this world, but if someone sitting in front of me talks in a British accent to me, मैं बिल्कुल चुप हो जाऊँ. Like I don't know what he's saying. I just cannot speak.
exactly. That is why
Yeah.
I'm
आप
now
वैसे.
that I'm talking वो मुझे वो दिन याद आ रहा है. I think it was, I will never forget the day. It was around perhaps 16th March, and वो उस दिन बारिश भी हो रही थी, and 19th March को पाकिस्तान पे पहला लॉकडाउन लग गया था. I was the last person जो कि in person
Oh.
interview में appear हुआ. Yes, and I'm
Yeah.
so happy because the world was still new to this digital, this Zoom and everything. So I'm glad कि मैंने तो in online नहीं
In,
किया. मैं तो पता नहीं मेरा इंटरनेट ही खराब हो जाता.
yeah.
So yeah, that was the last person who did a face-to-face interview. तो
Okay.
आप interview देते हैं, and then again you sit tight and just wait कि now if I have made it through or not. And जो results आते हैं, they are usually in June.
June. All right.
In
So
June
फिर
side,
जून
it's
में
almost a year. You
almost a
see,
year.
from August to
That's
June,
10 months.
almost.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
wow, that's a very, very long process. Damn. चले. But all right, so you went through Chevening, you आपकी हो गई माशाल्लाह, and then you went for masters in public health. How was
Yeah.
that 1 year का experience in studying public health in University of Sheffield? Um, Generally वो UK का environment, how was that studying abroad? वो कैसा experience था आपका?
It was absolutely fantastic. Like, if I am asked to do it again, I'll do it in a heartbeat once again. I'll go through everything and I'll do it again. It was fantastic experience, a lot of learning, a lot of growth. I had great faculty at SHAR. We call it SHAR, the School of Health and Related
Oh,
Research. A short form में उसको SHAR बोलते हैं.
that's so
Sheffield was a great city to live in.
yeah.
Yeah. It was a very hilly city to initially because मैं plane से गई थी, Peshawar से, and Sheffield is made on 7 hills. So it is
Oh,
famous for its steeps and slopes.
okay.
I had excellent flatmates. I still miss them so much. We were 5 girls living together. 4 of us were Chevening Scholar, and
Okay.
one of my flatmates and my friend was a PhD student.
Okay.
So I enjoyed so much. I learned from the global community of Chevening. I learned so much about how British education system works. The biggest learning and the biggest, probably I would say, the broadening of my horizons was getting introduced to assignment submission and writing research papers and learning research writing.
Learning research,
You
right?
know,
Yeah. That was my
exactly.
next
That
question.
was,
Research
yeah.
यहाँ पे सीखी नहीं होगी आपने. आप research
कुछ भी कुछ भी नहीं सीखी, कुछ भी नहीं पता था. And I would definitely give a lot of credit to my fiance Mir. He helped me so much क्योंकि वो लम्स के पढ़े हुए हैं और उनका वो आपको पता है सेमेस्टर सिस्टम and everything. And he was studying on a Fulbright scholarship, तो उनको पता होता है रिसर्च का ये वो. मुझे
absolutely.
नहीं पता था. हम वाइवास देते हैं, हम एग्जाम्स क्वेश्चन आंसर्स लिखते हैं. So I didn't know कि क्या है. The first day was
Yeah.
I would say first
Yeah.
semester was very difficult for me. I got through it and I got good grades and I got even a distinction. But it was hard to get my head
That
around कि citations कैसे होती हैं,
yeah.
referencing styles क्या होते हैं, and how it is like to not learn things and understand and just
And
reproduce
then
and make sense
I
of things. Yeah.
Correct.
But
Perfect.
overall, the journey was
Amazing.
great.
I'm sure. All right, आपका masters हो गया. You come back and now you're doing two things. You're working for the KPK government and you have your own consultancy firm.
Yeah.
कंसल्टेंसी फर्म आपने क्यों शुरू की? किसी ने आपसे कांटेक्ट करना है, वो कैसे कर सकता है?
Okay.
हाउ कैन समवन, मतलब कंसल्टेंसी फर्म के शुरू क्यों की और कोई आपसे कांटेक्ट करना चाहता है तो कैसे करे?
Consultancy firm अभी बहुत recently शुरू किया.
I
It's
know.
still
I know.
very new.
It's in its early
And
stages, but I know the thought
yeah.
behind it is pure, so it will work out, inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. So main मेरा यही था कि as I told you, I went through a lot of trial and error, and I don't want people to go through that. That was one of the reason कि जब 2019 से मैंने अपना procedure start किया application kind when I got it. That day, this day, I have mentored a lot of people. I have read a lot of essays. I've reviewed, I've edited, I proofread things. That is the reason क्योंकि मेरा पब्लिक अकाउंट है इंस्टाग्राम पे, मेरा पब्लिक अकाउंट है ट्विटर पे कि हर कोई मुझे रीच आउट करे. बहुत सारे लोग रीच आउट करते, लॉट ऑफ पीपल इवन से मैम मुझे ये स्कॉलरशिप चाहिए, मुझे दें. आई वाज लाइक आई डोंट हैव द स्कॉलरशिप बट आई विल गाइड यू. तो एक थॉट प्रोसेस यही था कि जब ग्रेजुएट हो जाते हो, जब मैं ग्रेजुएट हुई थी, एंड पर्टिकुलरली मेडिकल एंड डेंटल स्टूडेंट्स, वी आर वेरी लॉस्ट, वी डोंट नो, हमारे में करियर
Absolutely.
काउंसलिंग का एंड करियर गाइडेंस का कंसेप्ट नहीं है,
Mhm. Yeah.
which is one of the very I would say drawbacks हैं ये हमारे
Of-
institutions का.
Yeah.
And हमारे में mentorship का नहीं है. So main thought process यही था, to guide people and to steer
Right.
them in the right direction, to
Yeah.
sit with them, to brainstorm कि उनकी options क्या है, what they can choose, and they can make informed decisions. इस फील्ड में नहीं जा रहे कि कजन गया और उसमें अम्मी चाहती है और इसमें इसमें जा रहे, you know, कि like you want
Yeah.
post grad because सब कर रहे हैं.
Yeah.
So not that. So that is the driving force behind it.
Amazing. That's a beautiful answer. All right. Uh, we're moving towards the end of our interview. You're working with the KPK government. Firstly, what is your
Yeah.
job description with the KPK? आप कर क्या रही हैं? And secondly, what's that experience been working in the government and actually making a difference in public health? How's that experience been?
So I work as a public health consultant, and of course, I might have a job switch now. Like, and it's still too early to comment about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so I work as a public health consultant, and we work on different projects. Currently, we were working on the provision of primary health care, and we make the plans, and जो policies और projects आते हैं, funding आती है, उसकी आपने distribution कैसे करनी है, and how, yeah, everything. So that is and it has been a great experience. वो कहते हैं ना, सरकार के साथ काम करने से you learn a lot of
You learn a
things.
lot of
So
things.
although,
Yeah.
yeah,
मैं यही
although
पूछना
it
चाह
has
रहा हूँ
been,
कि
हाँ,
गवर्नमेंट के साथ जॉब एक तो मिली कैसे और मतलब अब कर रही हैं तो वो एक्सपीरियंस कैसा जा रहा है?
एक्सपीरियंस आई वुड से कि इनिशियली तो मैं बहुत ज्यादा नर्वस थी, क्योंकि आपको
Yeah.
पता है, आपको जो चीज डिग्री में सिखाई जाती है वो फील्ड में नहीं होती. फील्ड इज लाइक एप्लीकेशन एंड इट इज वेरी डिफरेंट. एंड बहुत सारे लोग आपको हौसला देते तो यही बोलते हैं कि अब एक्सपीरियंस के साथ सीख जाओगी. तो द एक्सपीरियंस हैज बीन वेरी एनरिचिंग, एंड आई एम रियली थैंकफुल टू
Yeah.
एवरीबॉडी बिकॉज आई एम ऑलवेज द यंगेस्ट इन द रूम, and I've always been taught with a lot of care and a lot of kindness. And I would mention my mentor, I consider him my mentor, Dr. Naeem Majid. उन्होंने बहुत हेल्प की है. अब मेरे स्टार्ट जैसे I took a start, he has been a very great guiding resource for me, and I've enjoyed so far.
Beautiful, beautiful, Dr. Hira. I've thoroughly enjoyed this so far, and I'm sure जो हमारी audience है उनको आज पता चल रहा होगा कि अच्छा चले scholarship भी होती है dentistry में, and you just have to put in a little effort to find those
Yeah.
scholarships and then apply to them. ठीक है? खैर, anyway, moving on from that, I'll just like to ask you one last question. My question is, what do you think about the startup of ours, and any advice that you would like to give us?
I am very I would say glad that you have created this platform for an open dialogue around dentistry. I think अगर आज से 5 साल पहले किसी ने किया होता तो शायद हमें भी बहुत guidance मिल जाती when we were going through it. I have watched your videos on YouTube. I follow your account and I've subscribed to it, and I am really proud of you
That
for
means so
taking
much
this
to me.
initiative. It is, I'm also very proud of what you are doing, because
Thank
that
you
was
so much.
also a new learning thing for me. और मैंने I heard about it क्योंकि I have a couple of friends who are interested in digital health. तो थोड़ा सा वो mention करते हैं all or intelligence and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
dentistry, everything. But seeing somebody who's actually doing it, so मैंने आपको
You
mention
know
किया है
someone who's actually doing digital health?
who will be doing digital health now in UCL. वो उनको मैंने mock interviews conduct कराई थी. She got a Chevening scholarship.
Oh, in digital health?
Yeah, digital
Oh,
health. Yes,
I would love to get connected with her if
I would definitely connect you.
because I would love to talk because I also am a digital health enthusiast. I don't know if you know this
Okay.
about me because I am a big tech geek. I love
Yeah,
tech.
I could see that. I
I
could see
love
that.
technology. You have no like I literally talk dental tech is all I can talk about. I talk a lot about tech. So I love what technology is doing in the healthcare industry.
Healthcare.
I could talk about it for hours because I
Yeah.
research मैं बहुत पढ़ता हूँ. I am subscribed to all digital health newsletters and so much. So I'm also looking forward to that path. Maybe I choose it, maybe I don't. But I would love to get connected with her and talk to
I
her.
would definitely connect. And she's a dental surgeon as well, surprisingly.
Oh,
so वो
so
अब
see
डिजिटल हेल्थ
that's
या
my
उनका भी इंटरेस्ट रहा है डिजिटल हेल्थ में शुरू से ही और वो जा रही हैं. And I got connected because she reached me out. और मैंने उनके interview procedure में सारे में I used to guide her and everything. So
what's her
yeah, I
name?
will definitely connect you. Sorry,
What's her name?
her name is Dr. Faham.
Oh, Faham. Okay, 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 very
Yeah,
nice. Oh, Dr.
yeah,
Faham Riaz. Oh, I know her. She's a
yeah,
friend. Yeah, I know. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I definitely, I have talked to her. All right,
yeah.
perfect, Dr. Hira. Thank you so much for this interview. Thank you so much for taking time out. It really meant so much to me. I'm sure the audience enjoyed it. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.